percent to trade at $48.68 an ounce, and gold and platinum were both in the red. And our top gainers tonight are SAB Miller up by 1.33%, followed by MTN up by 0.18%, and British American Tobacco is up by 1.27%. Our biggest losers tonight are Naspers, down by almost 1%, followed by Steinhoff, down by 5.75%, and First Rand down by 2.04%. Now, Natasha Ndlovu is a model turned digital entrepreneur who's based in London, and I had a chat with her earlier to talk to us about the business in the digital media and whether it can be taken as a serious career, and more primarily, how lucrative it is.
We've got young women that are sharing their lives online, what they're wearing, where they're traveling to, what they're eating, and people are genuinely curious about it. And now brands and companies have seen them as a go-between, the market, the audience, their customers essentially, and we're just there in the middle connecting you to the brand that you love through how we interpret their product.
Well, was this a natural progression for you, for being a fashion blogger, being a successful model yourself?
Yes, it came naturally to me because when you're working in the fashion industry, as a model, you don't really have a voice. You're just there, you do your job and you leave. And then with blogging, I saw that people could actually have a voice and express themselves creatively, whether it's the photography or now with YouTube and videos. And I just wanted to kind of share my experiences with my own personal life, which then turned into more of a professional thing with the blogging. Because once you, of course, get the brand seeing what you're doing, you kind of have to step your game up a little bit and make it not so much less personal, but now consider the people who are watching you and seeing what content you're putting out there.
Yeah, I think blogging in South Africa or Africa generally is not as prominent as we see with our international counterparts. So how do you then model that which is so successful internationally and try and make it big here?
I think essentially one hindrance, so to speak, here is with blogging, it's all about being online. It's social media, it's the internet. With that, it would be so easy for South Africans to connect, because I see whenever I travel here, there's a curiosity for people to see what is happening. I have friends from other parts of Africa, or second generation or third generation British, and they're just like, South Africa just seems like an amazing place, and it's just so developed in comparison to where I live in London most of the time. There's not that much of a culture shock, and for people to see more of South Africa, and in terms of blogging itself, it's just we need to be connected online and through the internet, and so it is possible. There is that possibility. It's just that one thing is constantly being online to show the world, for South Africa to show the world what they have to offer.
Yeah. And I think blogging and what you do is probably the career of the future, if you will, because conventional work is sort of dying out. So if somebody wants to, they have a knack for fashion, or they're creative in that sense, and they want to start blogging and do what you do, how long does it take, and what do you need to? What kind of attributes do you need to have?
You need to have a unique point of view in whatever topic that you're doing. Fashion can be very, very broad, and you'll get a lot of people just posting about their outfits, but you can have 1,000, beautiful girls that are posting nice outfits or a variety of sizes, but then it's like, how are you doing it in a way that's unique and different? So it's always trying to find that niche in what is it that you're doing that makes you stand out from another person.
Yeah.
And so essentially now that a lot of jobs are going sort of online, social media is getting bigger. When you look at young people, they're not really trying to apply to go and work at a company, because they can now turn on their computers or their phones and start a business that will attract people and that will attract, potential clients' business essentially.
Yeah.
So you just have to find a unique standpoint. Whether, there are people that make money talking about cars or talking about a sport. It's a question of how you approach that topic and what makes you unique, and your voice that makes you stand out from essentially your competitors.
Yeah. So I'm on to bzoonatasha.com,
yeah.
And here it's just all sorts of brands, from dresses to fancy outfits to even upholstery for that matter.
Yeah.
So all of these, are these brands that either approach you to write about them, or how does the whole point of contact start?
Well, in terms of on the site, that leads into a second point, being affiliate networks, how we essentially make our money. So you have a brand that can approach you directly. It can be a high street brand that says, you know, we've seen your Instagram, we've seen your blog, we love it. Here's an outfit, or can we pay you to style, let's say, shorts for the summer? It's festival time. Can you show your readers, your audience, 5 ways to style a pair of shorts? So that's one sort of face-to-face communication, organic way of doing so, with directly corresponding through email or meeting up with the PR agencies, etc. Now, what you see on the blogs are another way that you start earning money, other than them paying you directly, is these affiliate links, which is essentially if someone visits the site and they see a link to an outfit or a picture of similarly to what I'm wearing, and they click on it, it leads you to that shop. If you eventually buy that item, then I get commission from you shopping via my blog.
Now, of course, for more information on the digital blogging career options or prospects, you can go to bizu.com. That's bizu.com. And that's a BizSense for now. Do stay tuned for more news just after this.
BizSense was brought to you by Vodacom.
Only news, no noise. Stories with maximum impact. News that informs and empowers. What you must know and not miss. The week's action packed in 30 minutes. Newsweek at these times. Only on ANN7.
You're watching ANN7 Prime with me, Cindy Mabi, and these are the news headlines we're following up this hour. Eskom Chairman Dr. Ben Ngubane rubbishes allegations of coal capture, saying real coal capture emerged in 1948 when the Nationalist Party gave 40-year coal contracts to a few big companies. He says Eskom is trying to bring real transformation in coal procurement. Eskom tears international treasury, saying there's a nonsensical campaign to discredit the power utility. They ask why Treasury is seeking answers from Eskom instead of approaching via shareholder minister. Eskom rejects insinuations that coal sourced from Tegeta was non-compliant, saying money paid to Tegeta was only for compliant stockpiles. Questions National Treasury for singling out Tegeta for advance payments when the Big Four have benefited the most. The Communication Workers Union has withdrawn an interdict application against MTN to stop its outsourcing plans. It's the end of the road for suspended Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff, as she has been suspended, or impeached rather, for breaking Brazil's budget law. Eskom CEO Brian Molefe has come out all guns blazing against their detractors. He defended the allegations against the organization, specifically over engagement with Tegeta over coal contracts, their face-off with Treasury, and his relationship with the Guptas.
Sparks flew at the Eskom briefing of the Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises as Eskom leadership tore into the criticism against them. First charged to be diffused was the controversy over Tegeta coal contracts.
The objection is not really the substance of the transactions that we have done with Tegeta. The objection seems to be that we should not have done business with Tegeta at all. Nobody comes and says this transaction should not have been done because it does not benefit Eskom. The issue of the substandard coal has absolutely no basis. That coal was tested at South African Bureau of Standards.
The Tegeta contract, when it came in, it actually opened the eyes of the entire government and the entire public of South Africa. The Tegeta contract, in terms of the costs per ton, are significantly lower. I think it's even half of what the big boys of the old order contractors have been charging Eskom.
Refuting Treasury's assertion that Eskom was not cooperating with them over coal contracts, Eskom said they have provided all the information sought from them. Insisting that all Eskom projects were watertight, they said the attempts to discredit Eskom is nonsense.
There was no desire on our side to be non-compliant or not to provide information or to hide anything. We have given everything to the Treasury, and to the extent that they think that there is more information that is required, we are ready to comply.
Defending his interactions with the Guptas, Molefe said that there was no proof to back the charges against the family and therefore no grounds to stop conducting business with their companies.
What have they done? What laws have they broken? And what has been done about it? Because I just work at Eskom, and I need to be told, don't do business with them for these reasons. Nobody has come to me and given me the reasons. Then I get labeled to be a Gupta person, just because I will not break the laws of our country, which says I cannot blacklist them without a reason. We have to consider them like everybody else, and that is required of us by a document no less than the Constitution. That is all that I have said on the matter. I don't know if by saying so, that makes me a captured person. Perhaps I'm captured, but I'm captured by the Constitution.
The big question now is, can the facts put forth by Eskom leadership change the narrative against them?
There's an ongoing campaign to discredit Eskom, says the Power Utilities Chairman, Dr. Ben Ngubane. He says the power utility is being criticized for its transformation efforts. Our reporter has more.
Eskom Chairman Ben Ngubane says the power utility is criticized because it wants to transform the mining industry, adding that laws need to favor small start-up businesses that can't offer the same guarantees as big players.
To promote black suppliers, we need exemption in terms of the PFMA laws, because the conditions are not the same. You cannot get the same guarantee from a start-up. So you as legislators, please look at these issues, because they're blocking the advancement of black people in this country.
Ngubane expressed his confidence in Eskom's leadership, while CEO Bran Molefe assured Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises that the parastatal's finances and power generation capacity were in good shape.
Eskom is on a firm financial and operational footing. Our financial performance has improved with a healthy liquidity position. Generation performance has been stabilized with continued improvement expected. We do not anticipate any load shedding going forward, and the new build program is on target to meet the dates on which it will be delivered.
Molefe also set the record straight on allegations that he was refusing to sign contracts with the renewable independent power producers and raising the cost of connecting them to the grid. While Eskom bosses pulled all the stops to clear misconceptions about the parastatal and its dealings, it now remains to be seen if this will help change perceptions about the power utility. Bureau Report, ANN 7.
In an exclusive interview on ANN7, Eskom CEO says that they are now working on a new way of contracting coal. The decision follows controversy over difference in prices of coal supplied by various companies to Eskom. Brian Molefe says they intend to buy coal from the cheaper suppliers in order to reduce the procurement costs.
There are different types of coal contracts that we're going to enter into in the future, and so standardization